Great. So I think we'll move on to the next topic. That's about branding. So the today these online e-commerce companies and portals and all, they are huge brands and they have the teams, huge teams working for them. So I would like to know from both of you, like what kind of branding activities basically are done by these companies specifically, and if you could like share some example in your own personal workflow.
Janati, do you want to start with this?
So I can take this. So I guess for any brand, you need to build a community. So for that, you just cannot be very plastic in your approach that you just want to talk about your product. You know, me and my mentor keep talking about it, and it's all about do not talk at your audience, talk with your audience. So you have what I believe is creating a community for your brand. So there are certain things that you can do. There are a lot of times that you get to interact with the potential customer or your niche audience. So at Koi Connect, what we do is basically using social media is one way to get engagement and have candid conversations. So when you put a post out there, don't just schedule it on your content planner and leave it there. I can assure you, you visit 50 websites today or 50 social media platforms, there's going to be less than 10% that reply to their audience or the people who engage with it. LinkedIn, Instagram, all reward engagement. Even Facebook, what clicked once gets clicked even more. So that's the organic platform. I'm not talking about sponsored ads here, but organically, that's how it works. So coming up with ideas where you can interact with the audience and then share your story, how you started as a brand, how what your audience is doing and what you are doing as individuals. There are a lot of even banking firms that are also making brand engagement more fun and more interactive by talking about life at BMO, or this is how we do fun activities at Kodak. So they're talking about the brand in a more personal way. So they're personalizing their message also. And then branding becomes more effective because the audience sees that you're not just talking about your product, you're not just talking about selling, but you actually are, communicating. And thirdly, it's about getting up to speed with what's happening around you. With COVID, there was a point that a lot of brands stopped saying it is not the time for us to build on commercialization. It's a time that we all stay back. Restaurants kept saying that let's stay back and we'll be back soon to serve you. They were not saying order from us. I think that was very sensitive when a lot of on the part of a lot of brands who took up this. There were e-commerce portals that were saying not the time to buy. Let's sit back, relax, and Netflix. They actually said it. And it was such a good thing to understand that these brands actually felt the gravity of the situation. They were not big on selling or getting, banking on our disposable income, but they were there for us. They were there with us. So that's how you build a community. And lastly, I guess one example for humor would be Zomato. Zomato is big on actually, interacting with the brands. Recently, I guess they came up with a chat with their CEO, their CMO, and the customer support. Zomato gives a lot of discounts. The chat was basically about, oh, there's New Year coming up. Maybe we should give out more discounts. And then it was a WhatsApp chat, and that said customer support, sorry, CMO left. And that's how they were engaging and talking about what their brand did internally, and they were sharing their story. That's one way. So that's how I feel a company has to understand what's happening in the environment and get up to speed with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Ishita, I would love to know, like, how do you do it in a ed tech space?
So specifically, what I truly believe is because I am a very passionate marketer. So when it comes to marketing, I take my audience very seriously. And when I take my audience very seriously, I have to take my brand very seriously in order to maintain a personality for them to be able to see me in a certain way. So, like you rightly said, community building is one part of it, which is definitely the major core of what I believe in. So, when it comes to online or offline, my brand or some other brand, it's very crucial for any of it to maintain, to have a very separate identity. When I say identity, a brand needs to have its own personality. So let's just say that you need to understand all the functional and emotional benefits of your brand, of your product, to be able to communicate it to your entire users, to be able to build a connection with humans. So, like we said, that marketing is not just communicating it to the consumer, but it's building a connection with humans, is what I have learned so far. So, giving you an example for the same, because my brand is very recent, so we are still in the process. So I would probably like to take an example which has been consistent. So I'm not sure how many people have heard about this brand called as Groupon. Have you heard about it? It's a, yeah, it's a discount.
I actually interned with them.
Oh, lovely. Okay, it's Delhi, right? Yeah. So it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I think they've become nearby.
Yeah,
They,
that's what exactly what I was coming to.
Yeah, it's called
True.
nearby.com now.
Yeah. So when Groupon started, it's a okay. So anybody who doesn't know about Groupon, just a little bit of a brief. That it's a discount and offer giving company which helps the customer to avail discounts in all of the restaurants or hotels and bookings and stuff. So it gives you all of these vouchers which you can enjoy and avail to spend time with whatever you like. So when Groupon started, they were they were on a hype because it was a new model that all of the users got introduced to. They were like, okay, wow, this is interesting. They're just getting offers for free. Let's avail it. Let's avail it. But during eventually they started realizing, they started getting repulsive towards it because there was so much selling. They were just all like, just buy it, buy it, buy it, because just have a good time or whatever. I mean, the entire overall strategy wasn't up to the mark, which is why initially how much they were able to catch eyes, they weren't able to sustain it for a very long time. At that particular time, they kind of realized that there's a need for a rebranding for the same. So that is when they realized that Groupon has to change itself. That is when exactly when Groupon changed rebranded themselves to Nearby, and they made sure that they're not repeating the exact same mistake that Groupon did. So they started talking about the values that they give. That is, humans are social animals. You need to have a real connection instead of just having a virtual one. So which is why you need all of these offers to be able to actually go out and use it. And when all of these emotions started coming into the picture, coming into the communication, then they kind of realized that the kind of response that they're getting from the users, it's overwhelming. Because then users, for example, if they're targeting me, I would actually, if I'm getting a communication or a notification or an email or a social media post like that, I would actually think that I should just probably go out with one of my friends which I haven't met since a while now, and use this offer at the same time. So it just helped made build a connection with humans. And I think the success story of Groupon and Nearby is something that really interests me a lot, because I read a lot of case studies of all of these brands, and this one was real much with a valid example of how connection building is so much important than just maintaining yeah, or just selling for that matter.
awesome.
It's
I
actually nice. And you
yeah.
know what? There's this competitor, Dine Out. So what Dine Out did I guess last winter. So at the time of Halloween, they actually dressed one of their executives as, a white sheet covered ghost, and they entered a central hub in Delhi where all the restaurants are, and they were like, "Here's the ghost of your bill." And they actually really spooked a lot of people. They were on the road and they made a video out of it, and it was like a very very nice effect of guerrilla marketing, basically. So they were actually between people, but that's when they actually made a connection. They
Yeah,
marketed this video and they were like, "We were there for you. You had the ghost of, you had the ghost of Bill coming your way, and with our offers or our deals, we just wanted to make your Halloween a little more sweeter with no tricks and only three, something like that." And that was such an amazing thing. Like I wasn't even in India back then, but I remember it so distinctively. because
Yeah.
it was that effective and it spoke to me.
Yeah,
It was
that's what.
occasional and
Yeah. Rather than brand being a company, a brand should be a different person altogether, which is just talking to all of the customers by itself. So all of us just are just representatives. Ultimately, it's a brand who should have, when you think of nearby, you should be able to imagine something like, for example, when you think of Pepsi, Coke, Amazon, for that matter, you just think about it, and you know. For example, if you talk about Apple, you know Apple. You talk about Amazon, you can think of it immediately. So that is kind of a brand that you want to build in. That when people are talking about you, they can just imagine what you are, who you are. Yeah.
I think a
Awesome.
lot of times when before spreading brand awareness, brands need to know what they are, like their USP.
Absolutely.
Apple is luxury and it says we are luxury. It says we are luxury. They
Yeah.
don't say we are available for everybody. They say we are exquisite. And if you are anything like us, let's join hands.
Absolutely.
So awareness within the brand and the company is more important before actually going out and spreading.
True, true, true. Very true.